Hello there, I'm Matthew Kingpin. If you don't know me, that's okay. I used to make Counter-Strike videos and then eventually general gaming content and video essays about said games. I stopped for a while though, mostly because no one watched the videos after a certain point and mental health factors got in the way. Today though, I want to talk about something that I've seen a lot of kickback against in my recommended videos, and it's the concept of the gaming is dead and games aren't fun video idea. The one where the author dejectedly drones on about how playing video games is no longer fun now that they are in their mid-20s, have bills to pay, and only choose to play a variety of games similar in number to the amount of colors Model Ts were sold in. So 1. So obviously, those videos aren't exactly my favorite thing in the world, partially because they remind me of myself at times, to clarify. So today, instead of just offering up more complaints to, well, their complaints, I'd like to provide a solution to this partially self-fulfilling problem with something I myself will abide by throughout the year of 2025. The too long didn't watch, gaming is not dead, gaming is still very much fun, and the scams and shady business practices that have supposedly strangled the life out of the entire industry have existed since games have existed. And the backlog, along with my plan for going through it, is how we're going to avoid them. So, lads, ladies, and they them any's, I propose a challenge for everyone watching, including future me who gets to do all the editing. Lucky him. Pretty much everyone I know has a gaming backlog, the forever growing monolithic mountain of unplayed Steam sale snipes and dust-collecting laserdiscs sitting on our shelves from time measured in years accumulated through many lackadaisical mumbles of maybe later as our libraries were perused unenthusiastically time and time again. Much as that last sentence word-vomited the idea in a way entirely too sesquipedalian to be considered anything but pretentious, in actual human terms, we all have games we want to get around to playing, eventually, that never seem to actually get played. Well, I aim to implore that never classification be converted to 2025, the current year, like now, as you're watching. And for those of you who haven't navigated away from the page in a desperation-filled dash to avoid deriving enjoyment from something you once cherished, I will provide the method to the madness, so long as you continue to listen on. Disclaimers up front. As an ADHD autism-afflicted individual, I am acutely aware of the concept of both analysis paralysis and a familiarity bias, both of which are key components preventing one from chipping away at a backlog that, for some of us, may actually house more games than could ever actually be completed with our limited late-stage capitalism-strangled free time and very much mortal human lifespans. So thankfully, the solution I offer accounts for both of these things. This solution is going to require us to set up a game plan though, a backlog buster, going in. Planning? I know, it's a scary thing, believe me when I say I can relate wholeheartedly. As mentioned previously, I have brain chemistry that actively despises it. The thought of making mundane plans fills me with more existential dread than, well, existence itself these days. So to encourage you, the viewer, and myself to actually construct and complete this backlog buster, I'm going to make this both as simple as possible to both make and maintain, and as flexible to wiggle room to abide by. To achieve this, I implemented the most basic idea of a structure and ground rules that I could think of. And on that point, the plan is simple. Assign one new game from your backlog to play per month. Next, you must spend at least 10% of the total playtime you devote to gaming per month to that new game. So if you play around 80 hours of games a month, you need to have spent 8 or more of those on this new game. To define what I mean by a new game, that just means any video game that you've personally played less than 2 hours of throughout all of time. It can be any game from any console generation, any difficulty, or any genre. It could be co-op or single player. There are no restrictions, it just has to be new to you. You'll do this for every month remaining out of the year, including this month, January. Pick out whatever 12 games you want to play and assign each one to a month. For example, this is my personal chart for the year, and for the month of January, I have Yakuza 0 as the game I want to play through this month. And because I spend around 200 hours a month on gaming, because I'm sad and unemployed, I'll have to spend at least 20 hours on the game before the end of January. A small catch though, is that if I end up liking whatever game I end up choosing, Yakuza 0 again for example, to the point where I'm still playing it into the next month, time spent on January's new game will not count towards the new game playtime of February. And as a side note, based on just the amount of time I've put into Yakuza 0 so far, it might just end up being that way because this game is absolutely ridiculous and I'm loving every second of it so far.
Okay.
To get back on topic though, that is the entirety of the idea. It really is that simple. And to go against the detractors who might say, well, only 12 games is nothing compared to the hundreds I have that I want to eventually play, My answer is this: 12 is greater than none. And by the sounds of things, none is about the number of new things people have been willing to try if they're this burnt out on gaming, with just how many great games there are out there. They exist. Gaming is not dead. Make the backlog buster. Try it. On to the concluding thoughts now, though. That's about all I have to say for this production. I hope this video sparked a bit of adventurous spirit in you and actually ended up encouraging you to follow through with the backlog buster like I will myself. If you have any questions about how to go about completing this, or need any encouragement to do so, feel free to leave a comment and I will respond to it. Or at least see it. Or at least unapologetically delete it if it's particularly vitriolic. I hold no shame against swallowing the voices of man-children. None. None whatsoever. I know without this plan, I never would have even given Yakuza 0 a real try, an actual real try, if I didn't just bite the bullet and essentially structure this backlog buster to where I couldn't just maybe later myself out of it. And that's what I challenge everyone who is watching to do as well, because gaming can be fun. Gaming can even give you experiences so great that they might actually be worth living for even just for themselves. And with how absolutely awful things are right now for a lot of people, myself included, it's genuinely nice to have something to look forward to amidst all the general malaise this billionaire spherical cesspool we call the planet is throwing at us. I hope you all stay safe and find new favorites out there in your gaming backlog. There's so many to choose from. You just gotta try. I've been Matthew Kingpin, and I thank you very much for watching. Burn your dread, and have a peaceful night. Go into the future, and I'll meet you there.